YouTube, what's going on? BD Wolfgang 1980 here, aka Bezell, the man to see in the place to be in the QCNC. Well, it's been a while. I most definitely am glad to be back. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving if it applies to you. Your buddy Bezell most certainly did. And as usual, hope you're doing well because I most certainly am. I'm excited. Let's get down to it this morning. It is time for your Lucha Underground review for December the 3rd, 2014. And let's get the show going here. Started off with a cut scene. We're in Dario Cueto's office. It's Dario, Big Rick. A couple champagne glasses are being filled up. You know, there's obviously a little celebratory gesture going on. Dario congratulates Rick for signing a contract exclusively to work for Lucha Underground and to work for him. Dario pours them both some bubbly. Rick says he wants that bonus in cash. Dario looks a little miffed, but he says okay. And from there he says, after what you did to Mundo, everyone around here is put on notice. That's what I like. Violence is my favorite form of entertainment. And things are about to get very entertaining. Okay, nice little quick cut scene, start to show off. From there we go to the temple. In the ring we have Son of Havoc and the lovely Ivelisse. Ivelisse says, ever since Havoc has arrived here, he's been treated like a joke. Wrestling women, I mean, she sold it correctly. Come on, guys, let's get old school around here. You know, the old school women's mentality as far as pro wrestling is concerned, you don't get in the ring with the boys. She said he's wrestling women, he's wrestling little people. If we knew this is what we were signing up for, we would be living in Nashville. A clear shot at TNA wrestling. I mean, you want to talk about crystal clear, it doesn't get any clear. That is a clear shot across the bow to TNA wrestling. But you know what? I admire the guts of Lucha Underground to let her say that. From there, Havoc grabs the microphone. He calls out an open challenge. I'll take on any man around here that wants to see what he can do. And I'll show you how tough I am. From there, we're introduced to Pimpinela Escarlata. Woo! My initial thoughts on this one, guys, I mean, you know, I'm going to be blunt with it. Extremely flamboyant. We have, you know, some makeup going on, hair is teased. We had a very feminine ring attire, to say the least. But, you know, it's going to take more than that to scare your buddy Bezell. Come on now. You know, this is BD Wolfgang 1980 here. I grew up during the era of flamboyancy. There's always going to be flamboyancy in wrestling. It's always going to have a character that's flamboyant, knows how to work it. And apparently this guy is he's a veteran down in Mexico and things like that. So, hey, I'm not worried about all that. At the end of the day, I just want to be entertained. He came out, like I said, very flamboyantly dressed. Came down to the ring. The crowd was into it. They didn't mind him. They were chanting something a few times or two in Spanish. So a few of them knew who he was. So, hey. But from there, like I was just saying, I really wasn't feeling the ring attire, but like I said, I get it. And, you know, it's going to take more than that to scare Bezell. Let's go. Let's get down to the match. From the start, I realized he's not a bad worker. I did notice that age has slowed this guy down. Now, all you educated wrestling fans out there, you could tell. If you never saw this guy, just like me, you could tell with the way he was kind of climbing the ropes and the way he was doing his arm drags and his rope walking and things like that. He was probably pretty good at one point. They did say that he's been wrestling since the 80s, the early 80s. So I think this was more of a bring him out of respect to the Lucha audience than anything else. So I'm not going to be too hard on him as far as all that goes. But I could tell he was probably pretty good. He's, you know, age just slowed him down a little bit. And he did do a spot where he walked the ropes like the Undertaker, but while he was doing it, he was kind of doing a little bit of that salsa, you know, that little forward, that little back a little bit. It was funny, a little spot. At the end of the day, guys, we just want to be entertained. We want to see some good action and be entertained. I mean, come on. From there, we get a missile drop kick off the top rope to Havoc. As usual, Havoc selling is on point. He's really good with his selling. I like Son of Havoc. Havoc takes control after a vicious Irish whip into the corner. We get some clubbing blows. Ivelisse gets the occasional cheap shot in as well. Your finish comes when, if you remember the little mini wrestler, Mascarita Sagrada, from last week or either the week before, he runs out, interferes in the ring, causing interference, runs through Havoc's legs, distracting him. From there, Pimpinela rolls up Son of Havoc. We get a 1, a 2, a 3. Excuse me, he actually kisses. He actually kisses Son of Havoc first. That even added to the distraction. And then from there, we got the roll up with the 1, your 2, your 3. Your winner, Pimpinela Escarlata. Not a great match, but once again, I really think they were playing the respect card for for Pimpinella Escalante. I really do. So in that, I'm all about respect when it comes to wrestling. I have no problem with that. I endured it. It was fine. I mean, it was entertaining to say the least. It was still entertaining. Definitely not what I would choose first, but that's just Bezell Speaks. That's my opinion on it. Let's move on. From there, we get another cutscene. This time, Dario Cueto was in the bathroom, okay? Johnny Mundo sneaks up on him and grabs him by the collar, jacks him up, and says, hey, no matter how many times you send Big Rick to knock me down, I'm always going to get back up. And then from there, I'm going to find you and kick your tail. Dario proposes Mundo to help him. Look, you hurt me, you get nothing. But if you help me, I'll get you that $100,000. It'll be in cash. From there, Mundo takes that necklace off of Dario's neck that we were teased with last week when Katrina called him out with the, we know you hold a secret, you have a sacred power, and they teased, and we even talked about it here on the show. They teased that he had some type of secret power, and from there we didn't know what was going on with it. We were wondering around here. I said, post your comments below. Are they talking about maybe some type of occult, connection? Maybe they're doing. Was it a cross around his neck? Was it a Bible? Well, we found out it was a key. We don't know what the key goes to, but that's what we found out, guys. So if you're keeping up on your Lucha Underground, we learned this week that what was teased by Katrina was a key around that necklace on Dario's neck. So from there, after Johnny takes it, Dario says, hey, what are you doing? Johnny answers back, I'm getting a little insurance. So obviously that key is important to Mr. Cueto, and Johnny knows it. From there, we go back to the temple. We're introduced to a gentleman named Famous B. Initial, guys, every time we have a debut of a new luchador right here on Lucha Underground, I give you my initial reaction. My initial reaction is, brother needs to hit the gym. That's right off the top. Did not have a good look. He had super generic ring attire. At this point, I wrote in my notes, he can make all this up if he can work. Okay, from there, our good buddy Mil Muertes, he comes out. Well, I won't say good buddy, but I like him. How's that? Mil Muertes comes out. He's going to be Famous B's opponent. As soon as the bell rings, absolute destruction. Muertes pummels B. Even Katrina gets in a hit as well, snapping his neck up against the ropes. The crowd is actually clearly behind Famous B because they did mention he was from Hollywood, which is, they're in the LA area. They try to fire him up, but to no avails. Muertes is just way too dominant. From there, as we come to expect, Muertes hits that vicious spear. We get the flatliner. We get a 1, your 2, your 3. Your winner is Mil Muertes. Right out the top, guys, total domination, the absolute definition of a squash match. I mean, it was bad. It was quick. I felt sorry for B. He was famous tonight for the wrong reasons. From there, I just wrote the note, super quick squash match. I even wrote down, I don't even think Famous B touched Muertes. Comment down below. Tell me if I'm wrong or tell me if I'm right. I don't even think he touched him. He never got a hit in. From there, we get another docu promo, as we coined around here. Bezell Speaks, baby. This time it's about Drago. They have a child narrating in the background as far as telling the storyline. We see Drago training, and here's how it went. What do you know about dragons? They say they are protectors. They say they can fly. They say they can destroy everything in their path. Man rose up against dragons, and they battled, and man won. Until this dragon became a man. So supposedly Drago's like the last of the dragons. He, evolved, evolution took place, and he became this, dragon man hybrid. Hey, it's wrestling, the storyline. I can dig it. You got to get into this stuff. And then the child says at the end, who do you fear? Good, cool promo. It even has some CG graphics to show the part where some wings appear behind Drago's back. Cool segment, as usual, as we expect from Lucha Underground. From there, we're back at the temple. It's Drago versus King Cuerno. Right off the top, guys, just like I knew, this is going to be a good one. I mean, how they going to mess this up with everything that we've seen in the past couple weeks? From there, here we go. Cuerno opens things up, punches, snapping kicks. Action picks up with some good lucha work. We get a good springboard from Drago, but he eats a flying double knee, Daniel Bryan style. Drago hits a super nice sunset flip over the top rope to the outside. And then from there, we see that woman again. That's right. The woman that they showed last week was watching the match. They never said her name. No one knows who she is. They showed her again, guys. So this is obviously going somewhere at some point. Drago throws Cuerno back into the ring, and then he hits a modified blockbuster for a 2 count. From there, Cuerno regroups after grabbing the ref and throwing him in the way until Drago does a nice corkscrew, which they call a firefly. Drago was putting on a clinic at this point. Now, Cuerno was able to mount a comeback. He hits a suicide dive of his own. Crowd is clearly behind Drago, but to no avail because Cuerno hits the Michinoku driver, which they call the thrill of the hunt. And maybe it was. Let me give him credit. It was slightly modified. It was a slightly modified Michinoku driver. They called it the thrill of the hunt. You got your 1, your 2, your 3. King Cuerno was your winner. Good match. You know as well as I do, this feud isn't over, and I'm fine with that. I hope you are too. Comment down below. Okay. From there, we're back in the ring. Johnny Mundo is out there. He's cutting a promo. He says Dario Cueto has 10 seconds to bring him his money. He wants it right now. Big Rick comes out and says, "Shut up, leave my ring." From there, Mundo does leave the ring. He leaves over the top rope and jumps on Big Rick, taking him out. From there, Conan steps out. Orale, viva la raza. That's right, K-Dog is in the house. He comes out and says, "You know what? You might as well pay Puma the money because let me tell you something, Mundo. If it wasn't for Puma, you wouldn't have won the money the first time. You definitely wouldn't be in contention for it now. And let me tell you, if Rick gets the best of you, you're on your own because Puma doesn't have your back anymore." Which I enjoyed that part as well because, that sets up that is Puma going to come out and help him kind of storyline, which there has been dissension between Puma and Conan within the past few episodes. But you already know all that, guys. Let's keep it moving here. From there, while Conan was talking, Rick jumps back in, obviously on a distracted Mundo, starts to attack Mundo. But from there, Puma comes down. That's right, Puma does run down, defying Conan, and then they double team Big Rick. But then they look at each other. I don't know if words were exchanged or it was just a vicious stare down. But then Puma and Mundo exchange blows. That's right, they're going at it now. Security has to run out. They break them up. Dario comes out and says, a la Teddy Long style, "You can have Rick's money. You can have it, 100,000 in cash. But here's how it's going to go down. It'll be next week. We're going to have I'm going to have it up, hanging up on the rafters, $100,000 and a ladder match, y'all. This is going to be good. I'm looking forward to this. No problem with me. At the end of the day, Mundo is good enough to carry this match. I don't know if Big Rick's going to be doing any high time spots, but I think it'll be a good back and forth match. Rick will probably work some power moves, maybe work some power with the ladder as well. I'm sure Mundo's going to do some athletic things. I got hope for it, so I'm looking forward to it. Doesn't bother me one bit. So nice segment. We got a match set up for your main event for next week. We're going to have our first ladder match on a show that's about, Lucha Libre style wrestling. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys, you know what time it is now? It's main event time. Our main event is Chavo Guerrero and Pentagon Jr. versus the lovely Sexy Star and Fenix. On paper, we already got the table set. How can this be bad? Let's do it. Good action right from the start. Star hits Chavo, comes out swinging. She hits Chavo with a drop kick. Fenix hits a lucha arm drag to Pentagon. We got a beautiful catch, Hurricane Rana. What I mean by catch is he was thrown up in the air, landed down, and then delivered the Hurricane Rana from Fenix to Pentagon. From there, Chavo gets tagged in. He comes in. Him and Fenix battle for a while until Star gets the hot tag. She comes in. She's, dying to get on Chavo. She hits Chavo with a nice seated drop kick, snapping thigh kicks until Chavo just grabs her and just overpowers her. He has to manhandle her to kind of get control. From there, they work Star in the corner, tags back and forth. They actually abuse poor Star until she's actually able to make it to the hot tag to get Fenix in. He comes in clean house. It's a nice reverse, very nice reverse spinning heel kick. But Chavo is actually able to get back in control. He tags Pentagon, who hits Fenix with a power bomb for a 2 count, not enough for the 3. At this point, Star is rejuvenated. She's back and forth from the corner. She's begging for the tag, but Fenix is completely cut off until he hits a springboard cutter. Very nice. Sexy Star gets the hot tag. She comes in. She's a swinging. She jumps on Chavo immediately. Fenix from there hits a low-key style double stomp, which I believe is the Warrior's Way, as they call it, low-key calls it. Hits it on Chavo. But then from there, as he rolls off of Chavo, this is a really cool spot, guys. Comment down below. But he rolls, as he hits the double stomp, he rolls off of Chavo to break his fall or stop his momentum. But from there, Pentagon Jr. grabs him with a belly-to-belly overhead release suplex. It was all sequential. It was very nice, very quick, very crisp. Good work here. From there, the crowd is chanting Holy Bleep. So we got our Holy Bleep moment so far. I mean, it was a really nice spot, guys. Check it out, guys and gals. Please check it out. From there, Star hits a nice corkscrew over the top rope on Pentagon, but not to be outdone. Fenix hits a nice corkscrew on Chavo and Pentagon as well. From there, we get our finish. Finish comes when Fenix jumps off of the top rope with a double knee. Now, this knee was completely to the face. Now, he got his knees around the head. One leg is he was very safe, but very technical, very dangerous. Comment down below. I enjoyed that spot. But that's one of those spots where, let me tell you something. If you're both in the ring, you better trust each other or somebody can get seriously hurt. You can't half step on a spot like that. Somebody will be hurt. But it was very nicely delivered. It was like a double knee sit down. And then from there, Sexy Star was actually still the legal person in the ring at this moment. Star hooks the leg. We get your 1, your 2, your 3. Sexy Star and Fenix are your winner. Good match. Very good match. Definitely deserves to be the main event. As usual, where do I start? Where do I stop? It couldn't get any easier to review something. Now, I must admit, it's just like some of you, I'm sure you missed TNA, because I definitely missed TNA. I'm glad for it to be back. But let me tell you, it's really, without TNA, my anticipation and my excitement for Lucha Underground is going up just that step higher. And I hope it has for you too. Enjoy it. Tell your friends. Tell those who are on the fence that are a little scared. Now's the time. Jump on in. This show is rocking the house, guys. Gals, you know it too. Everybody, it's a great show. All I could write in my notes was another good show as usual. I mean, what do I need to do? Write a book? I mean, it doesn't get any simpler than that. Good stuff. To the point. It's only, if you're scared to watch, let me let you know, it's only an hour. Give or take commercials, you're talking 40 minutes of action. To the point. They don't have time to lollygag. I enjoy it. It's really moved up my list, as you can tell. It's moved, and I can tell too by the views in these videos. It's moved up on some of y'all's as well. So thank you very much for the support. It's a nice, beautiful day here in the QCNC. Your buddy Bezell's getting ready to go out here and enjoy it. Stay tuned to the channel. We got, if anything breaks on TNA or anything, wrestling related, any news, we'll try to break it for you here as well. Stay tuned. But till then, thank you so much. Share, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. I definitely enjoyed doing it for you. Tell a friend, and I will see you later. Bezell out.